to the Gardner
So I
Show.
recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who came to me and asked me, was like, Gardner, who am I? And he insisted he wanted to know who he was. But I realized that that is not an answer I can give. And truth be told, it is an answer you'll never find anywhere in books. Because look at a river, when you look at a river flowing, there are things that we are never told, not because maybe we do not know, or some people have never been conscious enough to understand some of these things that a river does. Now, when a river is flowing, it has two fundamentals.
Growing futures in the morning light, endowing minds, transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Tune in close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show.
One, the river is shaped by the landscape where it passes. For example, if it is a hill, the river won't pass there. It will go on the lower side. If it is a valley, it will go on the lower side. If it is a hill, it will still go on the lower side. So it moves in accordance to the geography and the nature of the land. But it is not consumed by the land. The second fundamental is that the river consumes the land. Everywhere you see a river, there is more or less land that is being eaten up by maybe the water banks or the river banks, if you may like, and all of a sudden you find something like a ditch, if especially it dries. So it means it consumes the land but does not allow the land to consume it. So in a nutshell, as it evolves, it keeps its natural form. And this is what many of us are supposed to be doing. We are on this planet because we are out to grow, to evolve, to become something different. And in your evolvement, you are not supposed to allow the community, the society, your environment to consume you, because they are going to if you're not careful. They're going to say things that you can do and things you cannot do. They're going to direct your choices. They're going to direct your actions. They're going to direct your thoughts and emotions. But be like a river. Do not be consumed. Do not be consumed by the landscape. So don't be consumed by the environment. And another important fact is that as the river flows, it picks so much. Reeds, bricks, clothes, bottles, everything. But those things that it picks as it flows are not part of the water, are not part of the river. That's why when the river dries or when everything remains behind, that is not part of it. As you evolve, whatever is not part of you, leave it behind. So statistically, we know that an average human being is born with a blank slate. The brain is blank. It has nothing, has no data. Now, as you try to evolve, you start picking up data, picking up information, just like how the river flows and picks up things. But remember, the things you pick are not part of you, however much they seem to be part of you. So it's out of that consciousness, conscious awareness of who you are, that you start to prove, to leave behind the things that are not you. There's this favorite story of a lion that was abandoned in the farm. This young cub had gone with the lion. So when the villagers had it roar, they came and started running after the lion. The lion left, leaving the cub behind. And there was this old farmer who took it upon himself to adapt the young cub and nurture it. So he put the young cub, it's the sheep. And time and years went by. This cub associated with the sheep, started to feed with the sheep, started to sleep with the sheep. And it more or less became part of the sheep. Until a time when at night, this lion came and roared. When it roared, all these animals, even the young cub also had to run away. And the lion went and picked the cub and took it on the side of a river and asked it, "What do you see? Look through. What do you see?" When the cub looked at itself, it was more or less like the lion. So the lion told, "Then do what you're supposed to do." And immediately the cub roared. And when it roared, it went back to the village and roared, and these other animals ran away. At times we are consumed by the environment where we are. we forget the raw in us, the authenticity, our identity because of the environment. How do we arrive to our authenticity? How do you be yourself? As the question was, who I am. Now, there are 3 fundamentals that I think they're not absolute true. It's not a step-by-step process, but I'm positive that if you be conscious, then you are able to find answers. The first thing is that you need to know who you are. Knowing who you are has 3 fundamental concepts. 1, you need to know your physiology, your physical appearance. Do you have a small nose? You have a big eyes? You have big ears? You have a big mouth? Your physiology, whatever. Do you walk and see somebody who looks like you and you're like, that person actually looks like you? I know your physiology. The second, you need to know your thoughts. We very well know that an average human being has 56 thoughts in less than a minute. But out of the 56 thoughts, 80 are negative and 95 are repetitive. So we are products of habits, of repetition, as Albert Einstein once said. So for you to be able to change and know thyself, you need to first understand the thoughts that are running in your brain. Can you catch yourself? Do you know what you're thinking? And the third is that you need to know the emotions. Can you tell the emotions? We know an average human being has over 27 emotions. All the kinds of emotions, whether negative or positive, that you know of. Can you tell when they come? Do you know them? Do you know when you feel happy? Do you know how you feel? Do you know how you look like when you're happy? Those are some of your physiology, thoughts and emotions that work hand in hand for you to be able to know thyself. The second step, you need to learn how to listen attentively to yourself. It takes 2 ways. 1, are you able to listen to the still small voice? And this small voice can be positive or negative. We have had those small voices that tell you you're inadequate. You can't do it. They're looking at you. How are they going to judge you? How are they going to perceive you? What are they going to think about you? Those are small negative thoughts. Then we have the small positive thoughts that tell you you can do it. You have done it before. That believe in you. You see, you're confident. You're enough. You're adequate. Those are small still voices. Are you able to differentiate the small negative voices and the positive voices that are running within you? Remember, it is what runs within you that matters the most. And finally, the second, under listening to yourself, then you need to listen to feedback that is given either by you, yourself, or by people around you. Remember, as you listen to people around you, listen to them, but be a product of your own conclusion. You need to be a product of your own conclusion. So as you listen to people, listen. But every time you want to really catch yourself and understand yourself better, when you do this, it is a process. It becomes your way of living. So you start catching yourself thinking, you start catching yourself hearing yourself, then this will affect the way you think, will affect the way you feel, and affect the way you act. And once you start changing the way you act, then you are living confidently in your own spirit, in your own soul, in your own physiology. And that is a person who's unstoppable. And that is when you really move on and know that actually you know thyself.
Growing futures in the morning light, endowing minds, transforming lives. Every sunrise, a chance to thrive. Tune in close, let your spirit grow. Welcome to the Gardner Show.